So for many of us that are very familiar with the lookup, the VLOOKUP, right, to return specific values from the Excel from a particular data set, right? I explained in one of my videos that VLOOKUP has limitations, right? And then there are instances where you would want to use VLOOKUP to return a particular value, and it will give you an NA error, right? I'm going to show you that in this class. I'm going to show you the reason why. I gave about few reasons. Then in that video, I gave I think about 5 reasons, and one of the reasons is that it is possible when you have. I explained that VLOOKUP scan the data set from the left to the right, right? So if your VLOOKUP value, right, is to the right of your table array, Excel will not be able to perform VLOOKUP appropriate for you. So you will have an error. This is what I'm talking about. In this example now, I want to use VLOOKUP to return the name of the branch manager, right? The name of the branch manager. This is the branch manager that has this variance here, this particular variance here. So performing VLOOKUP, I'm going to say that VLOOKUP equals to VLOOKUP, and I'm going to call out the argument, and my lookup value, I'm going to pick variance, right? And my table array is all this table, right? And it asks for the index column index number. My column index number is 1 because I want to return the name of the branch manager, so it is 1. And then of course it's an exact match, right? I'm going to select exact match, and I close it. If I say enter, this will give me error, right? Can you see I have error, right? And the reason is that from what I explained, this is the lookup value. This is the table array. I mean, I use all these table arrays starting from here. So you would see that the table array is on the left of the lookup value here. So by how VLOOKUP is designed, the VLOOKUP is meant to be on the left of the table array, I mean of all the tables. So if the variance had been in this position and then this particular branch manager is around here, it will be it will perform effectively, to be correct. You get your right answer. So if you have situations like this, many people do not even know that there are limitations to this. You just witness error and then you begin to think what is happening. Yeah, I have explained that in the next video. But then in this class, I am going to show you the alternative to it. And the alternative is to use the index match function. I explained that the index match function has been proven to have no limitation when it comes to situation like this. And the index match function is a combination of the index function and the match function. We're going to use it together, just like we are nesting it, right? We are using it as a nested function, right? Now this is what, let's break it down, the two of them. We have the index function, the match function. Index function, what it does is this: you will specify a position for Excel, and you will tell Excel that return the value, or the return the value in this position. That is what index function will do for you. Now match function is the direct opposite of the index function. Recall, for index function you will specify a position and tell Excel to return the value in that position. But for the match function, you will specify a value and tell Excel to return the position of that value. Let's see the index function and let's see how it works. I'm going to say E equals to index, right? And I'm going to call out the syntax. Look at the argument. The argument is asking me table array. So let's make this my table array. Of course, this is my table array, and I go to the next argument. The next argument is asking me what's the real number. I want to return I want to return the position IO, right? So I want index to return IO for me. I want index function to return IO for me. But then what's the position of IO? IO is on row 1, right? It's going to be row 1, and index, you can see row 1, then column number, that is column 1, right? If I close this bracket, you will see that it will return IO. This is how index function works. Then in the case of match function will return position. Let's say it's asking me what is the lookup value, right? I want to return IO, right? So my lookup value is IO, right? Lookup array, and the lookup array is going to be I'm going to use this down. Yes, that's my lookup array. Then it's asking me the next argument, of course, is an exact match, right? The other match type is not compulsory, so I can close the bracket here and say enter, and you can see it returned that IO is on the first position in that lookup, in that lookup table array. Yes. Now this is what I'm going to use to perform an alternative to VLOOKUP that was giving me an error. I'm going to combine it together. So we call it, of course, the index match function. Now let's see how the index match function. The same thing I have performed using the index and match function, I'm going to use it together as in the form of a nested function, right? I'm going to say equals to index first index. Now it's asking me what is the table array, right? So I want to return what I want to return is on this array. So I'm going to select this table array, right? I am selecting just down the row. I'm not picking up across row and column, because what I want to return is just on one row. I want to return name here. I'm going to return the name of the branch manager, which is on this column. That's why I'm selecting just one column as my table array, right? And the next argument is asking me is that what is the position? Remember that index function will return, you will specify a position and it will return the name in that position. So it's asking me what is the row number to say that what is the position of the name, the value you want to return. So at this point, I'm going to I'm not going to specify, I'm not going to call out the position as in directly. So I will let match function that by default return position, I will let it bring the position for me. So instead of writing the position as 1, I'm going to say, okay, now I want to use the match function, and I will call out the argument, right? And it's asking me what's the lookup value, right? Recall that when I wanted to return, when I was doing VLOOKUP for that same operation, that I picked this lookup value, it returned an error. So I'm going to pick that same lookup value here and see if I will have an error, right? I've picked the lookup value, which is the variance, and I say comma. It's asking me now what is the lookup array. So the lookup array is the range of number where the lookup value is, which is on the variance. I'm going to pick this as the lookup array, and I'm going to call the next argument. Is asking me is an exact match or less than, or this. Of course, I'm going to say it's an exact match, and this is it. If I close this bracket and I close another bracket, because I have two functions in it, and I say enter, you will see that it has effectively returned, look up to this table and return IO for me, which is the branch manager. If I scroll down, I will have for all other managers. Let me scroll down to the end of the table array. Yes, I have for all of them. This is an alternative. This is what VLOOKUP couldn't do. Now, recall that the reason why VLOOKUP couldn't perform this is because the lookup value is to the right of the table array, right? But what the VLOOKUP couldn't do, the index match function has done it, right? So you should understand today that the VLOOKUP function has limitation, right? And I've explained those limitations, right? And one of the limitations is what I've shown you to justify it, how it works. In any way, index match function is a function that you really want to look at, whenever the VLOOKUP is function is giving you an issue. I mean, one of the other reasons why you should consider index match function is that the index match function is effective for a larger data set. We are performing a larger data set. VLOOKUP function will take more time, to return your value. It's like it's calculating it, so it's going to take time. But the index match function is going to do that seamlessly without giving you stress. So you should consider the index match function. So if this video is very useful, for you, please, I want you to subscribe to this channel, Soft View Analytics, right? And if you have questions on this particular teaching that I've explained to you, comparing between the VLOOKUP function and the index match function, please drop it in the comment section and I'm going to reply you immediately. I'm going to show you, if it's possible, I'm going to schedule a class with you to show you how this actually work if you don't understand with this video. Once again, we are Soft View Analytics. Have a very wonderful day.